Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Ringside Rebels podcast. This is a new thing we're trying out here, and we are going to be reviewing wrestling shows. We're going to start out with AEW Dynamite. If I'm bored, I might do an AEW Dark or Dark Elevation. I watch those sometimes, and we're just going to see where this goes. If you guys want to go ahead and listen to us, feel free to. My name is Adam.
And I'm Cam.
And and together we are the Ringside Rebels. So Cam, this show, Miami, we're in Miami, Florida, no longer in Jacksonville for AEW. It's the Road Rager show for July 7th, 2021. First thing I noticed when this show opened is it looked like they had a new intro. I'm not 100% sure though. Did you see the intro at all? Did that look new to you?
I saw that Mark Henry was in it. That's the only thing I really noticed. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I remember the old intro. Maybe I've watched too many Botchamanias or something. I'm used to Hulk Hogan going, or Booker T going, "We coming for you," with that AEW
Send
music in
for
the
the
background
man.
there. Send for the con.
Jeez.
This is their first show back on the road, and we're actually opening up with Cody versus QT Marshall in a strap match. And first thing, we both mentioned this as soon as the show opened. QT did not get an entrance. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, that's
He was
pretty
like,
much how
get the
that match
shovel.
went. Yeah, first thing I mentioned to you, get the shovel, call for the shovel. So
Pretty much.
yeah, this match, I personally liked it. I thought it was one of the better matches on the show. Cody is so over with the AEW fans. Some people have been getting tired of him. Personally, I think we just need some time away with the fans back in. He's so over. It's hard to deny that he's a babyface for this company.
I love that you said that he came out and he looked like Homelander, because you're 100% right. Like,
Oh, he looks exactly like Homelander. It
yeah,
is so weird.
like the bald eagles on his shoulders. Like, oh my god.
It's
This
uncanny. He
is
almost has to know that he's doing it. Maybe he's setting up for a heel turn down the line, but he definitely just looks exactly like Homelander, and it's a little uncanny.
like he's even got the
Do you
hair.
remember?
He's just,
Yeah, yeah, with the hair and everything, you're 100% right. Do you remember? It was like 2-3 minutes into the match, the lights cut out.
yeah, I remember that, and I was just like, "What the heck?" I thought something was going to happen.
Yeah, I know. That's almost oh my gosh, considering that thing that happened later in the show, maybe it
Yeah,
was a maybe it was foreshadowing. We'll get to that,
either
but
it
that's
was on
funny.
purpose, or they were covering up.
Yeah, maybe they were covering for something that was happening in the ring. I'm not sure. It looked like they weren't blacking it out on the screen, and it was just the lights that went out, so you couldn't see anything. And then Cody kind of shrugged, and he was like, "Oh, whatever." So I don't know. Maybe it was on purpose. Maybe it wasn't. But regardless, it's a funny foreshadowing. So basically, what happens is the factory starts getting involved, and then Dustin comes down to the ring, knocks Solo out after some interference. Nick Camarado chases Dustin out, so it's basically a 2-on-1, and they just kind of brawl
Man,
into the crowd, and they're gone for the rest of the match.
I will say, out of the whole factory, the only one I really like is Nick. I just like his look. I don't know what it is about him.
Yeah,
Like,
when he started debuting on AEW Dark, I was like, "Oh man, this guy, he's got such a weird name. He will never get over." And then like in the coming weeks, and he was coming out with like that straight jacket. I was like, "What is this gimmick? What is this?" But he has won me over. He hasn't done a lot in the ring, quite honestly, but he's won me
yeah,
over just by kind of being that stoic badass that every group in AEW seemingly has. He's kind of what Wardlow and what Jake Hager originally were, and what should be in their factions. But that's a
yeah.
debate for another time, I guess.
He gives me he gives me Bruiser Brody vibes. I really like that.
I could see that. I could actually see that. That's a really good point that you make. What about him most screams Bruiser Brody to you?
Mostly just his appearance and the way he wrestles.
Just
I
the
don't know.
look,
He's
yeah.
just very
Fair enough.
big man. He's hairy. That's a big one.
He's hairy.
He's just coated in hair.
I know,
It's
dude.
like
I wish
freaking
I had chest hair like that.
It's like he's got a fur jacket on. No, that's just his hair.
Cody
Ugh.
eventually wins this match with 3 crossroads after QT spits in his face. He taps the turnbuckles, and Cody wins. Big baby face win to go ahead and start off the going back on the road here.
I just remember whenever I kind of forgot it was a strap match, then you reminded me. Then I was like, oh, so it's just going to have a rope. All right. And then I saw them touching the pads, and I'm like, oh, it's that kind of strap match. All right. This is
Didn't somebody?
great.
I think it was Britt Baker on AEW Dark. I think I just watched it earlier today, actually, and she's talking about Cody and QT in the strap match, and then goes, "Cody, wow, you're really into straps, huh? Well, I'm not going to kink shame you." I thought that was so stupid, but so funny.
It's like, why?
Yeah, I know. It was so dumb, but it was one of those things that was so dumb it made me laugh. Um,
Yeah.
so overall, what did you think of this match? If you had to give it a star rating, what would you give this match here, Cam?
Not really good at giving star ratings, but I usually just go by the good rating. It's just like, is it good? Great? All right? Bleh. I think it's all right. I just it's better than like certain matches on the card. I'll give it that. For a strap match, it's pretty good.
Yeah, for a strap match, I was kind of blown away with this. QT had this great spot where he does that power bomb off the top rope after Cody tries
Oh
to
yeah,
do a top rope Hurricane Rana. I thought that was awesome. That was
yeah,
probably the best thing I've ever seen from QT Marshall. and
yeah. I really
so
liked it.
uh, I,
That
I
is cool.
I like the match. Had some good spots. Overall, I'd say I don't know 3.25 out of 5 for a star rating if I had to give one. I agree with your mindset that it was all right. It wasn't breaking the mold per se. It was entertaining for a strap match because those are usually kind of crappy. So take that as you will. Next, we have Sammy finding Sean Spears in the back of the arena, and he just smacks him in the head with the chair and says, "Gotcha, bitch." one of the
Sean Spears
one of the many
dies.
one-liners on this show, I would say. Yeah, Sean Spears. I actually have been liking Sean Spears lately. I thought once he debuted and he got squashed by Cody, I thought really that was going to be the end of it. I like what he's doing in the Pinnacle, and I really like his finisher, the jumping Death Valley driver. It's called the
I
C4.
love
I
that
think
he's
it's
just
pretty
a
good.
chair. He's like a chair obsessed freak. I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
true.
Like the room of chairs.
It really gives like a weird
I
dimension
remember.
to his character that nobody else has in AEW.
Like everyone always tries to add a weapon to their gimmick if they're like super hardcore. He just has a chair. That's easy.
Just a normal chair. You find it under every wrestling ring. He's very versatile. Any chair that he sits on ever can be a weapon. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Abyss's freaking weird stick full of nails in it called like
No.
Janus, where he never even
Jeez.
used it. He only used it once, and it was off screen, and he like basically killed RVD with it. It's like,
Oh my
dear
gosh, really?
God. But
Good old TNA.
basically, it was like it was like they had to write RVD off and take the title off of him, and it's like, oh, Abyss hit him with Janus, and you look at RVD and he's like covered in blood and holes. I'm like,
Oh my
Jesus
gosh.
Christ,
I've never seen that.
it's
You'll have
bad.
to go ahead and send me that link. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I'll have to show you. It's
Yikes.
bad. I watched a video of just how Abyss got dumber as time went on, and it was that happened.
That's pretty crazy. That is pretty funny though. Yeah, definitely send me that after we get off here. Next, we had Kenny Omega in an interview with Don Callis. Crowd starts chanting, "You got fired," to Don Callis, and he responds with, "Real men don't quit; they get fired." I thought that was a pretty decent one-liner. Kenny's new uh,
Yeah.
Kenny's new beard or facial hair. I don't even know if I'd call it a beard. Looks like he's a part of the Trailer Park Boys. Have you ever seen that show?
I don't think I have. No.
See, I've never seen it either, but I know that they just have silly facial hair, so that's why I wrote it down. And then so
I've seen that facial hair somewhere, but I don't know where.
well, that used to be Triple H's facial hair back, like I think it was 2001 to 2004,
That
around
might
that
be
time
it.
frame. Yeah,
He
so
had like the weird, like whole beard, except the goatee was gone, aside from like a weird soul patch.
yeah,
It's like,
it's not a
ugh.
good look. It's really not, and it really makes you want to punch Kenny Omega right in the face. So I guess Evil Uno comes out on the mic, and he's talking. He's all right on the mic, actually. You know, I'd been talking to you about how I don't like Evil Uno or the Dark Order. He was actually doing all right on the mic. I'm not gonna knock him there. I enjoyed it. And then really, this promo segment really just kind of demonstrated how awesome it is to have a crowd back, so they can go ahead and interact within promo segments and in between matches as well. So I really enjoyed having the crowd back. And then Kenny Omega with one of the best lines of the night. He asks Evil Uno what the capital of Thailand is. And then Evil Uno goes, "What are you doing? You giving me a quiz here, Mr. Kenny Omega?" And Kenny Omega just kicks him in the balls and says, "Bangkok." That was one of my
Oh
moments of
god,
the night. There's another line that Jericho has that actually had me laugh out loud. My girlfriend came in and was
I
like,
didn't look that
"What are you laughing about?"
one. It is great. It is great.
it was pretty great. Adam Page comes out and reignites the Page versus Omega rivalry, and my gosh, is it magic with the crowd back! I am so glad they held off on this until they actually got a crowd back. It makes all the difference in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, everybody loves Hangman Page. I love him. He's my personal favorite.
Yeah, the entire
He's
Omega
great.
promo, they're chanting cowboy shit. It is just electric in there. They love Adam Page, and it's phenomenal. I can't wait for their eventual match. I don't think it's going to be at Fighter Fest. I think it's going to be at the next pay per view, which is in I believe September. I think it's the first weekend or second weekend of September there. So I think that's going to be
I already,
their match.
I already know that. I already know that me and Cody are going to be at each other's throats because my favorite's Hangman and his favorite's Kenny.
Oh my
I'm like, oh,
gosh.
we're going to kill each other over this.
Don't worry, Hangman will win. Hopefully, God, man, I hope Hangman wins. I love Hangman.
Hopefully, yeah. I hope he does too. I love him.
Yeah. Going on from
He's one of my two boys.
that and what Brian Pillman Jr.
He's like he's a
from
boy as
Penta.
well, but my two like best boys are yeah, it's Hangman and Penta.
Nice.
I
Those are
love
good
those
picks.
guys.
Those are good picks.
Yeah,
I'm definitely Team Hangman as well. And then probably one of my other favorites is probably Jungle Boy. I think he's my other favorite. I really like
he's
Sammy
so
Guevara now too. We'll talk about favorites later, I guess.
yeah,
Speaking of favorites,
yeah.
gosh, you know, I just said we talk about it later, but Darby Allen and Ethan Page interview segment with Darby Allen and Ethan Page. I do not know anything about this rivalry outside of AEW, but I absolutely love it. It is so awesome, and this interview segment really sold me on their coffin match that they're going to have next week.
I'm wondering if a coffin match is just going to be a casket match.
I assume it is. It's probably
Probably.
just that. I really don't think it
Like
could
it's
be
just
anything
called a
else.
coffin match. It's just called a coffin match because coffin drop. That's it. Like,
Yeah, you're not
I get
wrong.
it,
Haha, I get it.
but
Ethan Page is really good promo. Darby kept up pretty well though. He was talking, saying that Ethan Page was jealous of him for having as much success as he did within such a small time frame, and saying that he shouldn't have had kids or had a family if he wanted to be as successful as Darby. He was really going at his throat. It was good stuff. So definitely excited for that next week. That was good.
this
Next
is
match.
the duality of wrestling, basically,
Yeah,
between
that's
those two.
true, actually. That is a very good point that you bring up because that could be like, and it could be like the duality of Darby Allen in a way too, because, you know, he's got the face paint and he's almost kind of portrayed himself as he has this really extreme side and he also has the side that can go ahead and take the punishment as well. So he's got like two sides, one side that can give it, one side that can take it.
Yeah.
So moving on, we've got Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle 6-man tag. We got FTR and Wardlow versus Jake Hager and the Proud and Powerful Santana Ortiz. This match,
And they're managed by Conan.
true, Conan was he didn't really do much, unfortunately. If he did more, that probably would have been a little bit better, a little bit
He
more
just got
entertaining.
chop blocked, and that was it.
Yeah, he just kind of got dogged out. And sad because Conan was doing great on the mic last week with Tully Blanchard and was good in the Stadium Stampede match as the cameo too. So, uh, but oh well. This match was okay. It wasn't anything special, honestly. Kind of just like a regular 6-man. Hager looks kind of good. And basically, the finish came where FTR did the Shatter Machine. Now they're calling it the Big Rig on on Jake Hager, and Wardlow just
I
got
like that name.
the Big Rig. I don't know how
Being
I
a
feel about
redneck
it.
myself,
Okay, fair
being a
enough.
redneck myself, I appreciate the name Big Rig.
Fair enough. I think Dax Harwood maybe has that same Kenny Omega facial hair. Maybe that's where it is. I'd have to check a picture
Yeah,
of it but off the
he
top of my
does,
head, that's
doesn't
what I'm
he?
thinking. Yeah, or at least he did when he was in
Oh,
NXT or WWE, whatever. So yeah, whatever. Yeah,
okay.
I thought if they were going to give Wardlow if they were going to give Wardlow a pin over Hager, I think Wardlow should have done the finisher himself. He should have either done his corner knee drop or the F10. I think that would have been much more impactful than just having FTR kind of double team him. And I mean, you can give
Yeah,
Wardlow a clean win over Hager in a 6-man. At the end of the day, it's a 6-man. Who really cares that much, you know? But whatever. Who cares? They had a little
like
advertisement.
Santana and Ortiz, they were like dead for like the last 2 minutes of that match.
Well, I
I was
mean
like, where'd y'all go?
that kind of mirrors how they've been in AEW in a way, sort of, because just recently, within the last 2 months, have they even cared about Santana Ortiz and given him any wins whatsoever?
Not really.
Yeah,
Outside of being in giant team matches, not really.
yeah, they usually don't even show up. But I mean, in the recent weeks, they've been showing up on Dark and Dark Elevation, and that's how they give the guys their wins to justify their title matches. But oh boy, definitely need to use Santana Ortiz a little bit more. They were really hyped when they came into the company, and they really haven't done much, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But oh well. If I had to give this match a star rating or a rating or anything, 2.5 maybe. I assume you're kind of on the same wavelength
yeah,
with meh.
yeah. I literally wrote down that was something. I also put I hate picture in picture.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Picture in picture did ruin that
Ugh.
match a little bit. That was my bathroom break. I didn't think anything important was going to happen during that picture in picture, and lo and behold, most of the match takes place during that picture in picture.
Basically, yeah. Like, dear God. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
like it.
infuriating. They interrupt a good match, but they give time to I don't know, the Cody and QT Marshall. They don't do
Well,
a
like, yeah.
commercial break during that. And
Cody had no picture in picture nothing, but
yeah,
every other match did. Even the
Cody
main
had no
event.
picture picture. There was no entrance for QT Marshall, but you give the picture in picture to every single other match on the card. So silly.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
well, it's just like I know Cody. I never ever expect Cody to politic backstage, but he throws his weight around somehow. I feel it's just like, oh, I don't want the commercial break. Give it to everyone else. I'll be the
Yeah.
first match, but no picture in picture.
You see, that's funny because the Bucks are usually the first match, but no, when Cody's on the card, Cody's the first match. I think
Yeah.
whoever gets the first match is just so they can do their stuff and everything's fresh, because by the end of the show people were repeating moves, and there were two 450s done, there were two three amigos done by the end of the night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how many times am I going to see the three amigos? And just getting a little tired of it, but whatever, we'll get to that. Next was an advertisement for Moxley versus Carl Anderson for a IWGP US title match next week. Very random, and they
I
didn't
was,
really build this
yeah,
whatsoever. They could have had
I
Mox
was
come
like,
out
we
during
were
the
talking
main
about
event.
Moxley coming back. Yeah, we were talking about him coming back, and then just, oh, he's coming back next week. And he's, what?
Yeah, doesn't make a lot
That
of
was
sense.
out of nowhere.
Oh well. It whatever. It should be a decent match. Carl Anderson's a pretty good worker. Moxley's Moxley. At the end of the day, it's gonna be a decent match. Who do you think's gonna win that one? Do you think Moxley's gonna
Um,
retain?
nah, I think Carl's got it.
Really? Okay. That's
My
interesting.
gut, my gut, my gut says Carl's gonna win through some BS.
I dig it. I dig it. I like the bold predictions. That probably is probably true. Next, we have MGF and Jericho in what's called a face to face. It was surprisingly some sort of contract signing where MJF made stipulations for Jericho to go ahead and what Jericho needs to complete. So MJF will face him again. And
I do
Jericho,
want to bring up. Um, my first note says Chris kills a fat white man
that's right. Oh my gosh, I
because a
forgot.
dude rushed the ring.
Yeah,
Also, this is basically what MJF is doing. Reminds me a lot of that one John Cena Road to WrestleMania with MVP, where he's like better than Utopia rules. It'd be really funny if he added that kind of crap.
that would be pretty funny. Maybe he will. I don't know. Maybe somebody else will
Yeah,
tweet him or
just
something and he'll add that.
it'd be weird. It's gonna be weird seeing Jericho fight four people in one night. Just saying.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if he meant 4 people in one night or 4 weeks in a row. I wasn't very sure on that.
I assume back to back to back to back meant just in a row.
I'm gonna be honest.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Kofi doing it. Yeah, Kofi's super athletic. Yeah, you give him a roll up or two there, but Jericho, he's 50. I really don't want to see him do 4 matches in a row, maybe 5 if he gets MJF on the same night. That just sounds like a lot.
I mean, there is always the off chance he loses, but yeah, I'll go
That's
with it.
true, I guess.
Like, I was just like, one of the things that I was thinking, like, is Jericho going to win this feud? And if he is, should he? I don't know if he
I
should.
don't think he should.
We'll
MJF,
just,
I mentioned this to you before. If Hangman wins the title, I think MJF is next in line to go ahead and be world champ. So I know I'm booking 2 world champs ahead here in my mind, but you got to think that MJF is next in line after Hangman beats Omega. Uh, so I don't know. I honestly I think MJF should win the feud. It almost sounded like Chris Jericho had this one line where he said, "If maybe if I can't beat these 4 people in one night and I can't beat you, maybe I don't deserve to be in AEW." Makes me think he might be putting his career on the line coming up here.
yeah, which, that'd make me sad. I love Chris.
Yeah, it would definitely
I
be
mean, it'd
sad
be a way to go
and
out.
bittersweet. I mean, it would be fitting, I guess, for him to go out by MJF. That sounds like something that MJF could brag about every single week on Dynamite, just to go ahead and get some massive heel heat. So
Yeah.
it might be a good choice if he's looking to retire. I'm not sure if he's going to go full time with Fozzy or anything like that, if they're touring or something. I'm not really sure, but if he does put his career on the line, it will be interesting. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and the mama joke. That
Oh,
was
yes.
funny.
How could we forget
Again.
that? Jericho goes, I would do anything to fight you again, Max. I would even have sex with your mother. And Max is going crazy. The crowd's going crazy. And then Jericho goes, again. That was the line of the night. They're in a line
Again.
in a night of one-liners.
I
That was
love
the
it.
line that won it for me tonight. That was awesome. Next on the
Yeah,
list, we have
that one's great.
Andrade versus Matt Sydal. Actually, no, that reminds me, we had a quick Britt Baker segment where she's bragging about being the,
I was about to
yeah,
say, I wrote it
she's bragging
down.
about being the champ.
I put down, I wrote down a very specific thing she
Do it.
said.
Give us the backstory. Let us know what happened.
It's just, all I put down was Saudi Arabia jab.
Yeah,
God.
she said something
I
about blood money.
just,
Then goes, when's the next AEW in Saudi Arabia? That was crazy.
like, normally whenever they take jabs at WWE, I always think it's unnecessary. Occasionally it's clever. Like the acclaimed when they were talking about Christian, that was clever.
Oh,
But this, I feel like, is kind of deserved because, yeah, Saudi Arabia shows. No one thought that was a good idea.
yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Moving on, Andrade versus Matt Sydal. Andrade comes out and he's in a mask and he looks just like Evil Uno. And I'm like, oh god, dude, you look just like Evil Uno. That's not the look you want. It's not the look you want. He's wearing pinstripes. He
He's
looks like he's playing for the New York Yankees.
I I do love his attire though. He's wearing a skull mask and suit, and I'm just like, hey, that's my look. He's stealing my look.
That is your avatar.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I do like his little. I do like that he just wears suit pants while wrestling. Like I can't think of anyone else who's done that
Baron
willingly.
Corbin.
Jeans, sure. Suit pants, nah.
Baron Corbin, Constable
Oh, does he
Corbin.
wear suit pants? Oh
Don't you
yeah.
remember that?
Well, Baron Corbin kind of sucked when he was like that,
Yeah,
so
you're not wrong. Definitely not wrong.
he he had go away heat. Like,
That's
jeez.
true. Yeah. End of the day, Andrade wins with a modified hammerlock DDT. I think he changed his finisher and modified it because Ty Conti does the hammerlock DDT. I'm not really sure though. It looks very weird. It's like a hammerlock DDT facebuster weird combo. I definitely don't like how it looks, but yeah, whatever. He did great.
I got lost like halfway through the
Yeah,
move.
yeah. Oh my dude, it reminds me of the Saxtonation. Do you remember that one? Where it takes him like 20 minutes to set it up
I think
and then
I
he
do.
just stops doing everything and clotheslines him. It's like, come on. Yeah, so
But yeah, freaking the double moonsault was really
that was the
smooth.
best part
I
of the
like seeing
match.
the three amigos, even though it was the second time we saw it. I also he has a man sign.
True. Honestly, I think he did the Three Amigos much better than Santana Ortiz did. I think he really fits the Three Amigos and the Eddie Guerrero tribute a little bit more, especially since he has Vicky with him now. So, I mean, if they're gonna give it to
He
anybody,
almost did the frog splash even.
yeah, I know that would have been awesome. If they're gonna give the Guerrero stuff to anybody, I think they should give it to Andrade. Quite honestly. Yeah. Matt Hardy versus Christian is advertised for next week, and then we have an in-ring promo from Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes. They come into the ring. They're talking just for not even a minute, about 30 seconds. They go, "We love having the fans back here in AEW." They start talking, and then the lights go out. And the lights went out before in that Cody match, but the lights go out one more time, and lights come back on. Tell us who's there.
Malachi Black.
Malachi Black, Tommy End, Alistair Black, whatever you want to call him. His new name is Malachi Black. He's now in AEW. This was awesome. This debut was incredible.
Yeah. I love the all black attire he's got going on and the eyes. The eyes are
Yeah, he's
creepy.
actually really focusing on being creepy, which I think is a welcome change of pace. I know that he wasn't super creepy in WWE, but it's awesome to see him kind of really tap into that major creepy factor there.
Also, he has to beat Cody. Cody, you buried a lot of guys. Don't bury
Yeah,
Malachi.
that's true. Yeah. The only issue with this, and this is just AEW in general, they keep debuting these heel characters, but they have all heel champions. So they're going to have to switch one of the titles eventually to go ahead and actually put over one of their new heel debuts. So this is definitely an issue to talk about another time, but that's just an issue that personally I have with them debuting all these new heels, just kind of one after another after another. Next off, we had the mixed tag team match: Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy versus the Bunny and the Blade. I thought the Blade was great in this match. He's got great facials. He does great power moves. Statlander was really good in this match too. She did a ton of power moves.
I loved her in
I think she
this.
outdid Orange
She was great.
Cassidy.
I love that they immediately Blade got immediately searched and they found brass knuckles on
That
him.
was great.
It's like,
That
yeah.
was pretty great. They did a great job of playing up the story of the Brass Knuckles too. And then he actually hit the Brass Knuckles on Orange Cassidy. He was going to go ahead and pin him, but Chris Statlander had actually tagged in, so they were not the legal men anymore.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was really cool. Just like the little tap and then just hides
Yeah,
away.
that was hilarious. That was awesome.
Also, that 450
She hit
she
the
hit.
nastiest
She
450
hit a
on the
pretty
blade.
nasty 450.
That was so
I
awesome. That
liked
was
it.
better. That was
It was
better
great.
than the Young Bucks 450 later on in that tag team match. That
Yeah.
was just an awesome 450.
I literally just put Chris is adorbs and terrifying at the same time, and yay, Orange Cassidy W.
There you go. That's basically it for that match. I enjoyed this.
I love it.
Outside of the tag main event, I think this mixed tag was probably the match of the night. I really really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, picture in picture didn't ruin this one, so that's
I
good.
totally agree. Um, and I personally think they're going to build Statlander to face Britt Baker at the next pay per view at All Out in Chicago. I don't think she's going to get the rub here at Fighter Fest or one of these specials, the homecoming show. I think they're going to hold it off and build her up until All Out over in Chicago. I think that's going to be the right spot for a Statlander match with Britt Baker. I don't think she's going to win, unfortunately, but I think that it'll be a fun match and will be a good match. Next up, we have
I'm down.
the UFC guy. I don't remember his name, but weird UFC promo where
I was so confused. I was like, who is this guy?
I had no idea.
Like, he just started talking. I looked at my phone, I look back up, and I hear this guy shouting, and I'm just like, what the? Who is this? I thought it was like someone legend that looked super different from when they were young, and I just didn't
He almost
recognize
looked
him.
like a weird Diamond
But
Dallas
nope.
Page in a way.
Well, for a split second, I was like, that ain't Jeff Jarrett, is it? I hope not. I like Jeff Jarrett.
No, well, this guy he comes on the mic and he starts
Like,
burying AEW, and I'm thinking, why would you even put this on your show? And it's not burying. I mean, he is burying modern wrestling, but more so AEW specifically, which I thought was very weird on an AEW show. Yeah, like you don't see this on any other show where they have some guy from UFC come on and just say, "Oh, this stuff sucks. It's awful. I remember when it was good. This is just terrible nowadays. Why the heck are you people watching this?" Eventually, Lance Archer comes in and kills the guy with his finisher. It was a good end, but that promo was just a lot.
yeah, well, that guy really good at talking. It looked like he had practiced that for like days.
Yeah, he was a pretty good
Good
promo.
lord.
Maybe they'll have him back. I kind of hope not because I thought he was kind of a jerk. I guess he worked me or whatever, but I just thought it was weird to have somebody burying the
I
product
mean,
on your product.
I just thought they were just trying to make him sound like every smark on the internet, maybe like Cornet or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sounds about right. Um, so yeah, that was something. So then we get to our main event, the Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Mero with a street fight. Eddie, you mentioned this. This is the first thing you mentioned to me. Eddie comes in with a trash can and he's got Terry Funk t-shirt on. That was awesome.
Yeah, I love the Terry
That
Funk
was really
T-shirt.
cool.
Terry Funk's
They jump the
awesome.
Bucks before the bell. Match gets started. Nakazawa tries to help the Bucks double team Penta and Kingston. Nakazawa gets double super kicked as they get out of the way, so he's pretty much out of the match for the whole time. There was a great
Cutler, there was a part. There was a part where they had Cutler stuck in the corner and just cornered him, and he's just spraying the spray cans in
that was so
desperation.
funny.
I love whenever he does that.
Brandon Cutler is
He's
such a
funny to
jabroni
me.
that he's like almost won me over with how much of a jabroni he is. He is so funny at just being a stooge,
Like he
being a
just,
total nerd.
he gave off the vibe of just don't kill me,
I
please.
think that's when
It's
he's at his
good.
best, honestly. I mean, it's hard to take him seriously with that face mask on and dressed up in his red jumpsuit. So, honestly, I think he's making the best of what he has by just acting and just kind of going into his total stoogeness there. So, I love it. He's Not the best part about the Young Bucks, but damn, if he's not up there. There's this one great another great one liner here in the night. Uh, Penta is up on the top rope. Kingston holds I think it was Matt Jackson, yeah, in the what's up for the Dudley Boys, and they go what's up, and then but there's a chair there, and Penta does a drop kick on the chair, pretty much into the groin or to the ass, whatever, of Matt Jackson.
Oh,
Excalibur on commentary is so funny here. He goes, almost giving Matt Jackson an involuntary vasectomy. I was dying. The
thanks.
next great spot. The next great spot
Goodness.
was that Canadian Destroyer through the table on Matt that Penta gave him. That was insane.
That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then how?
Penta is just the highlight.
Honestly,
Him, like, he's
the
great.
second 450 of the night comes when Matt Jackson nicks in the rear naked choke from Eddie Kingston. Matt's looking down. He's on the top rope. He's like, "Oh man, who do I 450 splash? The ref or my brother?" So he 450 splashes the ref, and Nick taps almost instantly,
He just kills the
murders him,
referee.
absolutely murders him. And this is supposed to be
He's
their
just,
guy.
the ref's just dead
This is
on the
supposed to be their
ground.
ref that just help him cheat
Yeah,
basically, and he just treats him like crap. So there's that. And Nick taps right after. Then the Good Brothers come in, but Penta pretty much dives on him right after they come in and start beating up Eddie. So kind of takes him out.
and
Yeah,
Kazarian.
Kazarian comes in. When Cutler comes back, he starts spraying again, trying to mess with people. Kazarian's in a hood. I thought it was Moxley, but it was Kazarian, which I'm actually happy about. I'm glad
Yeah,
they're giving Kazarian some love still after
I
breaking
do
up
love
SCU.
Kazarian. Yeah, anytime he shows up, I'm super
I
happy.
agree. Kazarian's
He's
such a great
just
talent.
also Penta Penta dodging the freaking hairspray is
I
hilarious. Like he's the only person smart enough to try and
That
do
was so
that.
funny. That is pretty cool. Yeah,
Like
because you don't see it happen. People just get hit with it, but Penta's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that one.
I'm dodge and weave,
If you can dodge
serpentine.
aerosol, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, if you can dodge a rocket launcher, you're Jesus.
Penta and Eddie hit their tag team finisher, where it goes into the package pile driver into pretty much the Judas effect, the back elbow from Eddie. They're going 1, 2, and Matt pulls out the ref again. There's the second ref that gets pulled out. It's infuriating at this point.
I am so mad.
Yeah,
I was like, he tapped. They got multiple 3 counts. Come on.
yeah, it's infuriating. I'm definitely ready for the Bucks to lose the titles, but they go ahead and Eddie pulls out some thumbtacks. Penta gets Hurricane Rona'd into some thumbtacks. Eddie breaks the pin, and then Eddie gets a mouthful of thumbtacks from Matt Jackson, while Nick Jackson kicks him in the mouth, and that was disgusting.
He spits them
Yeah,
out.
that was disgusting, and
Like he spits them like God. I am
it was a hell
Penta
of a
being
finishing
like
move.
freaking Frankensteinered on thumbtacks.
Yeah, definitely a brutal street fight.
God,
I really enjoyed this match. I do think it was match of the night. I thought the drama was awesome. I was worked multiple times with those false finishes. I thought it was a hell of a time. I enjoyed watching this one a lot.
this is a great match, but I don't like the results. Therefore, 0 stars.
0 stars, -5 stars.
Yeah,
Perfect.
-5 stars. I love it.
So that was the end of the show. No Moxley coming out or anything. Bucks win. They celebrate with the Good Brothers and Cutler and I think Nakazawa. I don't even know. There's trash all over the ring. There's broken garbage can. There's the thumbtacks. There's busted table, busted chairs,
Confetti.
confetti too. There's everything all over the ring. It just looks like a war zone. It was a great visual to go ahead and end the show. Overall, what did you think of this show here, Cam?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. It got better towards the end, definitely. It was a slow burn.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Definitely, the show kind of built up to the last two matches, which I think is how it should go. It started off with that pretty good strap match. I did enjoy it. I would watch it again, honestly. And then two meh kind of matches, I guess. I wish that Andrade match was better. Wish he got to show a little bit more. I think he just needs to be in there with someone else than someone other than Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal's awesome. He's great, but he's not a beloved babyface, unfortunately. I love him personally, but he just doesn't get much of a crowd reaction right now, which stinks. Maybe they can work on that, but yeah, whatever. Main event was awesome. Mixed tag was awesome. And I do have a preview of next week for Fighter Fest Week 1. I'm going to go match by match, rapid fire. You're going to tell me who you think's going to win, okay?
Okay.
All right. Starting off, we got FTW title Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks.
Cage. Easy.
Interesting. I'm thinking Ricky Starks might win it so Brian Cage can do a little bit of a face turn there. I'm not sure how they would have Starks believably beat Brian Cage, though. Not sure. Next week, we also have Christian versus Matt Hardy. I think you know the answer to this one.
This is just freaking like WWE CW. Um. I'm just gonna assume Christian.
Yeah, I think Christian might win this because I think he's got an AEW title shot in his future. Maybe, uh, maybe at the Homecoming show right before
Yeah.
All Out, and then they can build Hangman while they're doing that. Then we got the we have this women's match that was announced during the show, and it seemingly has no build whatsoever. Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki. Do you even care who wins?
I only know one of you. Not really.
Yeah, no, this has no build
I
whatsoever.
just
Yeah. Honestly, I'll give a win to Yuka Sakazaki just because I think Penelope Ford's kind of a geek. So, yeah. We do have the coffin match: Ethan Page versus Darby Allin. Who do you think's winning that one?
I'll be depressed if Darby loses. Like he keeps losing. Like that freaking handicap match. I hated that. As long as Sting doesn't interfere or anything like that, I'll be fine.
Okay.
But I'm going
Okay.
Darby.
I got Ethan Page.
I am happy that Sting is like I am happy that Sting has been like, sitting back a little. Because whenever he was showing up every week, I was like,
Yeah, he was
okay,
showing up and doing
you're
nothing
getting
too.
less
That was so
special. Calm
bad. He would
down.
just show up and just kind of stare, and that would just be it. That really did not do anything for his character. I know it's hard to pay Sting that much money and not have him show up on TV every week and not have him do a lot, but you really got to keep the mystique of Sting intact. Otherwise, you don't really have much with him because he can't do crazy matches.
They've been doing pretty good
Yeah. Oh,
lately.
yeah. They've definitely improved.
He's only shown up like once in the last
Yeah,
month, I think.
he might be due for another time to show up. Honestly, I'd say probably Sting could get involved with this because Scorpio Sky is probably going to get involved in the coffin match too.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
so yeah,
Yeah.
probably Darby will win. I want Ethan Page to win because I'm a big mark for the Men of the Year though. That brings us to what I assume will be the main event of Fighter Fest Night 1. Moxley versus Carl Anderson for the IWGP US title. Who do you think is winning this one?
I think Carl, but I really want Moxley. I think Carl's gonna pull some BS.
That makes sense. Moxley does have Kingston in his corner. Well, he could if he gets assaulted and double teamed or 3-on-1 or even 4-on-1 by the Bucks and the Good Brothers. So maybe Kingston comes out, evens the odds. Maybe Penta, maybe even Ray Phoenix. Surprise! I'm not sure. That would be cool, but I guess we'll just have to
Or
wait and see.
Pack, wherever he went.
Yeah, right. Yeah, where is he injured? I think he was injured in that triple threat match. Actually,
I would assume, considering he's just fall off the face of the earth.
yeah. Well, if he is injured, obviously we wish him a healthy recovery there. So I'll go ahead and I'll tally up the results next week, and we'll see how good we did in our predictions. Until then, I think we are good to go on this podcast here. Cam, it was a hell of a time, hosting this with you. Thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully, we can do this again next week and for every Wednesday to come going forward from here. So, just want to say thank you very much for joining me. Viewers, thank you very much for joining the Ringside Rebels as well. Once again, Adam and Cam. And if you like this podcast and if you stayed this long, feel free to go ahead and give us a subscription. If not, that's fine. Hey, even a like on a video, a comment on the video goes a long way. So thank you very much. I hope you all have an awesome rest of your night. Thank you for joining us for this Road Rager review for AEW July 7th edition. Thank you. Have a nice rest of your night. Bye.